What is up, everyone? You watch On Air with Nick Driver podcast here on YouTube. Guys, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Ring that bell, and you'll be notified of all my upcoming video releases. Guys, we are going to jump into today's topic, and it has to do with the SAVE Act debate that has passed. And, you know, again, you know, they're basically offering proof of citizenship to be required for voting in order to stop people that do not live here from swinging elections. And once again, of course, the Democrats are upset. Let's go, guys.
They're upset at everything.
And typically I take bills coming from our own state capital and I show how they'll impact you. But this one comes from Congress over in Washington, D.C. This bill has some of our neighbors concerned about the ability to vote in future elections. A debate impacting neighbors coming from the U.S. Capitol. And here's the question. Should neighbors be required to provide proof of citizenship in order to cast a ballot?
The SAVE Act is a direct assault on Michigan citizens' access to the ballot.
Yeah, you know, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys actually think regarding this. Should proof of citizenship be required for voting? I'll get into my opinion on it here shortly.
As well as people across the country.
Kim Murphy-Kovalik with the group Voters Not Politicians says the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility, or SAVE Act, could impact our neighbors' ability to vote.
This would completely upend Michigan's election administration systems and really just create a lot of chaos in our election system.
The SAVE Act would require citizens to bring a passport or birth certificate in person when registering to vote or updating voter registration for federal elections.
Sure.
This would include when somebody moves or changes their name.
Democratic Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says the bill would hurt protections that Michiganders voted yes on in 2022.
Michiganders?
Here in Michigan, voters can easily register to vote with a driver's license, state ID, military ID, and other documents that most of us carry around every day.
Right.
But under this SAVE Act, none of those documents, not even a Michigan Real ID.
A similar proposal was introduced at the state level a few weeks ago. I spoke with Republican State Representative Brian Postumus when he introduced a Michigan constitutional amendment similar to the SAVE Act, requiring proof of citizenship to vote.
Only U.S. citizens should vote in our elections, and our Constitution should reflect that, and our laws should reflect that.
He mentioned a case from the presidential election where the Washtenaw County prosecutor said a non-citizen was charged after allegedly illegally registering to vote and casting a ballot in Ann Arbor.
I want to make sure that that never happens again.
Benson previously said such cases are rare, but Murphy-Kovalik says the proposal would make it even harder for even our neighbors to vote.
Michiganders have made it very clear that they support elections that are secure, modern, and accessible. That's why we voted to adopt our current electoral system, a system that works and that Michiganders want to keep working.
The bill has to make its way through the House and Senate before it would head to the president's desk. At the state capitol, Alana Johnson, Fox 47 News.
Yeah, I really don't see the problem here with having to show that you're a citizen in order to vote. But I know there's a lot of Democrats, progressives out there that particularly feel like this is somehow a voter suppression kind of thing. I don't think so. You know, but then again, that's why we have two-party system here in America. People are, you can basically have your own, you know, opinion on these types of things. However, you know, why the thing I would ask Democrats is, why would you not want people to show that they are a citizen and they have a legal document to vote? Like, you know, and the whole argument about, well, you know, I heard one congressman talking about, Democrat congressman talking about it, and he said, well, one of the issues is people of color, it would keep them from voting. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know if you, I mean, I don't understand this, you know, sort of thought process. You know, most people have to go get a driver's license, you know, to drive a car. Most people have to have a, you know, a birth certificate. You know, I mean, you can get these things, you know, this is all like pretty easy things that you can get. So the idea that someone can't show that they're a citizen, that argument is to me, it's really null and void, and it's almost It's almost a, you know, I feel like it's very derogatory for people to think that people of color can't get a freaking license and show that they're a citizen. You know, it's like, what are you guys talking about? That's absolutely insane to me. You know, and we do need to clean up the election process. You know, I mean, a couple years ago in 2020, you know, where did those millions and millions and millions of people that voted for Joe Biden just all of a sudden fall off the map? I mean, clearly there was stuff going on in that election. I'm not going to get into that, but clearly we've had issues with people falsifying voting in elections. So you guys let me know in the comments what you think. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care. You watching On Air with Nick Driver podcast here on YouTube. Please like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and share Nick Driver on social media. You guys be safe.